Hello, I'm Matt, and I would like to welcome you to the channel. If today is your first visit to our channel, please like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you will know when we upload a new video. Today's video is going to be about Chapter 7 in my book, Deciding for Life: How I Lost 70 Pounds Without Working Out and While Still Eating the Foods That I Love. Chapter 7 of my book is titled The Placebo Effect. Use the amazing power of the mind to find success. First, I must give a quick disclaimer. I am not a medical professional and I give no medical advice. My goal with this channel and my book, Deciding for Life: How I Lost 70 Pounds Without Working Out and While Still Eating the Foods That I Love, is to inspire others that are substantially overweight to lose weight and to feel so much better like I do. Because when you lose 70 pounds, if you're 70 pounds overweight, after you've lost a substantial amount of weight like that, you really want to tell other people so they can possibly experience the same feelings that you have, because it is so awesome to be 70 pounds lighter. And when I say I want to inspire others to lose weight, it's not necessarily by following my deciding for life system that works for me. It may be following a different system, but the whole goal is to inspire others to find what works for them so that they can lose weight and have the feelings that I have. Now back to this chapter. The first time that I can recall hearing about the placebo effect was when I was in a high school science class. And I wish I could remember the teacher's name, but it's been over 30 years ago, so I don't remember. But what he explained to us was that scientists would take and give an actual medication to one group and give a sugar pill to the other group. And neither group knew which pill that they were getting, so they wouldn't have any way of knowing whether or not they got the actual medication or just a sugar pill. And in some studies, they found up to 50% of people would have positive effects even from getting a sugar pill. So the placebo effect really demonstrates how powerful the mind can be when you believe something is a medication. Even when it's not, it in some instances can have up to a 50% effectiveness rate, even when there's no true medicine there. So with my deciding for life system, I've used this basic tenet of how powerful the mind is to help me lose 70 pounds. When I decided to write this book, I decided to do some research to see if, the information that my science teacher gave us 30 years ago was still relevant today. And one of the articles that I found was from the Cleveland Clinic, and it was titled, "What is the Placebo Effect?" In this article, there were several quotes of a Dr. David Allen. And so that I can make sure that I get them correct, I'm going to read them to you. One of the quotes in the article from Dr. David Allen was the following: "Even if they have nothing in them, there is going to be a certain percentage of people, and in some cases close to 50%, who are going to feel better even if it does nothing." Dr. Allen is quoted further as saying, "The manufacturers know this, so they don't need to have a terribly effective product in order to find certain people who, under the suggestion of treatment, feel better and go back and buy more." This is kind of interesting because when doctors and manufacturers know, the effectiveness of the placebo effect, I really don't see why more people don't take and use the placebo effect to their benefit. And that's kind of one of the things that I do with my deciding for life system. Another very positive person that I like to watch, and I've talked about him previously, is Myron Golden. He has a channel on YouTube that talks about business from a biblical perspective. And he also talks about being positive. It's one of the things that that he really emphasizes on his channel is the effect of positive thoughts. One of the things that Myron Golden talks about is that you are going to be a lot more successful if you have a positive attitude towards the things that you're doing. And he compares the thought in your head of, what if this doesn't work? How is that going to affect you? And is that more likely to have a negative effect than having the thought in your mind of how awesome will this be when it works? And what he really talks about is that you are much more likely to find success in whatever it is you're doing, whether it be weight loss or any other endeavor, building a business, if you have the attitude and the thought in your mind of how awesome will this be, than the negative thought of what if this doesn't work. Myron really teaches business from a biblical perspective. And one of the passages that he used in specifically related to this concept of how powerful the mind is John 9:23. Jesus said unto him, "If thou canst believe, All things are possible to him that believeth. I grew up with the idea and the thought process that I should set my goals in that as being realistic. But if you really sit down and think about it for a minute, if you only set your goals and what you believe as being realistic, would airplanes have ever flown? Would your microwave ever work? Because when you sit down and think about it, an airplane, and, this is an example Myron used, an airplane can weigh over 500,000 pounds and fly through the air. 100 years ago, would that have been a realistic thought? But somebody had to have that thought, and the power of their mind had to have that belief before that airplane could ever fly. You look at your microwave, you don't see how it works, but you put food in there, you turn it on, and it cooks your food. You can't see how it works. So who would have believed that, you could use a microwave to cook food if somebody didn't believe it before it was a rational or reasonable thing to believe? So when you really think of the power of the mind, just because something isn't realistic, today doesn't mean it won't be realistic tomorrow. That's why, to me, it's really important to stretch the mind in what you believe. If you have the confidence to believe that something works, you have a lot more chance of that something working for you. And when you look at all the little different things that I do, I add spices to my foods that are supposed to, add some nutrition and help me not be hungry so much. I'll drink apple cider vinegar. I don't do it all the time, but it may help. So I drink apple cider vinegar sometimes. I've used some different things that I've learned from the book, Glucose Revolution. Eating in a certain order. That's supposed to help me lose weight or at least control my sugar spike, which in turn keeps me from getting so hungry. Eating proteins or high fiber foods before I eat carbs is supposed to help me. And the way I look at things is if I take all of these little things, the spices, the different things I've learned from the Glucose Revolution book, and I put all of these things together, even if only one or two of them truly work, but my mind, because of the way that the placebo effect works, with the placebo effect, if I believe it, I've got at least about a 50% chance of it working by itself. So why not, use some of these other things that may actually work, and then those that don't may have up to a 50% chance of working for me just because I believe it. That's where I think people can use the positive thoughts of the mind and the placebo effect to help them through their journey with losing weight. I hope you found the content of this video today useful. If you have, please like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you will know when I upload a new video. If you think that this content can be helpful to a friend or family member, if they're significantly overweight, or even if they're not, need to lose a little bit of weight, because it's not just about being significantly overweight. You're going to feel so much better if you're not having to haul all that weight around. You can see that in an example that I did in a recent video where I put 70 pounds of lead in the backpack and went for a walk. It really reminded me of how much better I feel now that I'm 70 pounds lighter. But if you know somebody that may be able to use this information, please share it with them. It may help change their life, because it is truly life-changing to lose 70 pounds. If you have a question or a comment, maybe you know more about diet than I do. Maybe you have an idea that will, maybe help me not be quite so hungry. Please leave a comment in the comments section, and I do respond to all of my comments. Thanks for watching, and may you have an awesome and healthier and lighter day.